one of your campaign promises is to work with law enforcement officials to help combat domestic terrorism. What is your definition of domestic terrorism? And it doesn't necessarily have to be what you think it means for Leon County, but much less the nation overall.
Well, a domestic terrorist is any person who, or group of people who have a design and a desire to disrupt, criminally disrupt the lives of the citizens of the United States of America, either through criminal activities that deal with our financial system, criminal activity that includes killing citizens of our country, or setting fear. And fear has been perhaps the greatest tool of terrorists across the world in terms of stopping people from going about doing their everyday thing and enjoying the freedoms that America stands for. Now, one of the things that we've done, that I've done and will continue to do, is to stand up and make sure that the citizens of our community are educated, that the police department, the sheriff's agencies, the state and local agencies of this community are continuously updated in terms of how and what we're doing about the terrorist threats that exist. We have to make sure that we are focused on what we call hard targets, and the soft targets that exist within our community, that we educate citizens. I don't know how, I do know. I was about to say I don't know, but the truth is that you guys have not seen anything about say something in the media here in Leon County in probably the entire time you've been here. When I'm sheriff, there will be a continuing education effort focused on making sure that citizens keep in the forefront of their thoughts the possibility of domestic terrorism in our community. Not to the point that you're afraid, but as I said when I was a police chief here, that we shouldn't be afraid, but we need to be alert. And the best way to being alert is to understand and be educated about what's taking place. I get briefings weekly from the Department of Homeland Security about the various threat levels that exist within our communities. And we can share a lot of that with citizens, but the only way you're getting it right now is through what you see on CNN, and there's not a dialogue that's taking place, not an education. One of the things we'll do is be transparent about what's going on in our community, what the problems are, and make sure we're sharing that with our citizens.
You mentioned hard targets and soft targets, and what we've seen in terms of European terrorist attacks, like the attacks in Paris just recently in Brussels, and it's been an overall trend in terms of what terrorists are trying to do over the past 15 to 20 years, is that they are not going after military installations. They're not going after police departments. They're going after the people. Because, like you said, fear is their most powerful tool. So what they want is for people to be afraid to go to the mall, people to be afraid to go to a movie theater, to a Cascades Park. These are these soft targets that to them are the juicy ones.
Right.
What steps can you even take to defend something like a soft target, aside from asking the population to remain vigilant and to be alert constantly? Because even if they are alert and remain vigilant 24/7, which, as you know, is not the case, what can that do to even take sort of preventative measures to stop an attack on a soft target?
Well, that's where the law enforcement piece, that's our responsibility, quite honestly, in terms of identifying and having an understanding about the soft targets and the intelligence sharing that exists right now that's going on between the federal government, state government, and local governments about the game changer for us was 9/11, when we started really sitting down and sharing and talking about who the players are. One of the things we have to know is who are the people in our community with that kind of mindset, who are willing to attack a Cascades Park. As you said, there is very little we can do in terms of putting officers and security around all the soft targets. What we can do and what we must do, and what I hope they are doing, and will do when I'm the sheriff, is working constantly, day to day, on who these people are, identifying who the players are, sharing the information with our local community about not necessarily citizens, but our local law enforcement agencies about who these players are. And when we see where they are, we have to make sure that we're vigilant in terms of tracking those persons, making sure that we are vigilant in terms of when they're buying weapons, when they're buying the material that will allow them to build a bomb. That's the huge player that we have, and that's the advantage we have in America over Brussels and places like that, because we are in fact sharing that information. The federal government shares with the state, and the state shares with us at the local level.